Today we are going to be rating the hottest JDM cars in the world and also the worst cars ever made. My boy.
What's going on, guys? It's Wayne.
Banga with another Banga, and we are gonna be rating them from the S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier, and we are just gonna go along. We're gonna take turns. Go ahead and go first. Choose your first car and see where you think it's on the list.
You know, it's only right. We're gonna start off with the FRS, that nice orange one.
We'll put it here for now, like so that way, and then you just tell me where to go.
At least A tier for me.
A tier, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
just because it's everybody's like first car nowadays, and
Okay.
everybody's has one.
Okay.
First gen or second gen. Great rear-wheel drive coupe. It's affordable, and there's a lot of them.
If you think about it, these are the cars that are basically the modern 240. If you think about it, it's rear-wheel drive. It doesn't have high horsepower, but it's able to drift. You could do wide body. You could do all different kinds of setups. Track. Seen people do drag. Some people do autocross. Some people just
put a Ferrari engine in it.
A Ferrari engine. Some people do Formula One. So I definitely say A tier for sure. Take this hatch up to the S tier.
God.
S tier. Stop playing with me, bro. These things are like Legos, but for cars. These cars are so easy to swap. B series, D series, K series. If you don't like any of those Honda motors, you could literally put a RB in here. You could literally put a LS in here. People have done it and it's been done before. And it's crazy how much potential these chassis have. And because of that, I put it on the top tier. If you are a broke motherfucker like me, then it's a perfect car for you as well, because headlights, I literally got my headlights for 50 bucks. Wheels. If you want wheels, like 1,000, 1,500 or so for a full set of TEs. And like I said, everything is so cheap on this car compared to any other car. So I would definitely have to put it as S tier because it has so much potential. It has so many things. It's just like Legos, and you just can't go wrong with that VTEC.
Definitely do like your EK hatch a lot.
Okay,
It's one of those-
okay.
It's a classy body. It's really hard not to like it. So I don't know too much, but
Okay.
it's definitely a really beautiful car. And
Okay.
I think it deserves that S tier.
Well, hey, when you come down here again, you could hop in the back seat if you know what I mean.
Get that VTEC.
VTEC. I do got my wife beater on.
Mm.
She mean like white tea.
Oh my god. Let's bring out that FD RX-7. Automatically an S tier for me. It's just
Automatic
such a-
S tier. Why is that? Why is
Such
that?
a beautiful car. You can do so many different setups like any of these S tier cars and even A tiers. But that rotary engine, that Dorito, even though with all the issues it can have, it's just heaven every time you hear it.
That
And
Dorito
it
Loco
makes-
Taco.
It's a gem. I mean, the prices on these are insane nowadays. We've seen so many different builds. There was that Liberty Walk one at SEMA this year that we saw, and it was just so beautiful.
I would put this more on a C.
Dang.
And a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I just like. There's obviously a lot of potential with this car, but at the same time, I put it here because this car, I ain't gonna lie, I've seen people own it. They're just the way how everything is set up, and it's a rotary. It's bad on gas. Yeah, it could make.
Hey yo, Paulie, what the?
It could make. We calling out Paulie for this, but literally, I've seen like literally, and I kid you not to call him out, but Paul, your shit blew up. His shit blew up. He literally got an RX-7. He did it for SEMA, and his whole motor blew up. Much love to you, Paul. But holy crap, these things are unreliable as hell. They bad on gas. Yeah, they're good for power, and maybe they're good for like some quick fastness if you want to get some quick gaps. Give people the bus links. But other than that, these are the worst cars to touch unless if you K-swap.
I see where you're talking about. Maybe we gotta bring it down to like a B or A.
Oh
then.
shit, for real? Okay, what do you think?
Well,
Okay,
let's collaborate a little bit.
okay,
here.
collaborate. Okay.
I didn't even really think about like the whole maintenance side of everything. It's really hard to
Okay.
keep it up and running. So yeah, let's maybe put it at B.
Okay, B. We'll put it at B. If you guys don't know already, make sure to check out his channel. He does a walkthrough of basically going through this Miata, and it's super sick. I always wanted a Miata, guys. You could do all kinds of swaps, but even if you want to keep it NA and you just want to keep it stock, the body kits are amazing. You can't go with the pop-up headlights. People love the pop-up headlights. It's just a classic wine that's been aging, but it's so good at the same time. It's like almost aged wine. This is basically a Civic, but for Mazda. That's the best way I could say it. It's a Civic, but for Mazda. So I would say S tier. Why is that? Now they're like, Jarek, that's some bullshit. You're putting a slow ass car on S tier. What are you talking about? Guys, you guys gotta keep in mind that it's not all about the speed. If you're about the speed, then we would have a completely different list around here. But we're talking about the best and worst JDM cars, not about speed here. It's very affordable, very easy to get to, and it's rear wheel drive. Can't go wrong. And pop-up headlights. Can't go wrong.
Oh, it's the pop-up headlights for me, man. It's such an easy car to work on. I've basically learned everything about cars with the Miata. That was my goal with it. And man, it's a true sports car. I love having the top down, even if you can get a hard top. It's a little expensive, but if you can get one, it's really nice. It's only just finding a good Miata, like not rusted out and all that stuff. That's the only difficult part these days, and they have been going up in price. But they are slow stock, but you can really do a lot to it. There's a bunch of turbo kits, and they're all very affordable. And I think it's just a classy car.
Right.
Plenty of body kits to work with, and it's just super easy.
Facebook is your best friend.
Car. Yep, Facebook Marketplace. That's your best friend.
Yeah.
MR2 Spider.
The Spider. Okay.
Yeah, silver one. So I don't know if a lot of people like this car. I've been recently getting really into it. I think it's also aging like fine wine, and you can do crazy swaps with this. The engine's in the back of the car. It's literally a Porsche Toyota-esque.
Right. I've seen people K swap them too.
Yeah, lots of K swaps on this car, and I've noticed a lot in Japan. There's a lot of different kits that go super nice with it, and it looks like a mini like Carrera, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's a B tier for me.
Okay.
Just because it's such a great handling car, and it's growing every day in terms of like how much I like it.
My Honda boys gotta go with the EG, man. These crash ratings for EK or EG, they are not the safest thing when you get in a wreck. So once you get hit by these, it's like you're almost done for, unless you have a roll cage of some sort, of course. Put the EG at the S tier. Why? Same thing as a EK. I don't know why they put two Hondas, but you know, I guess more the better, I guess. But same thing. S tier. Why is that? Swaps are endless. Aftermarket parts are relatively cheap. Obviously, if you want to go more high horsepower oriented, you're going to have to spend more money, but that's with almost anything, even a Miata, a 240, Supra, whatever the case is. But if you want to make it nice and aesthetic and nice cruiser, nice daily, these are not bad to play with.
I think it's at least an A for me.
Okay.
Just because I don't know too much about the EG.
We'll put it in between so that way we kind of get a combo going.
S15, put that in there.
Okay.
One of my dream cars, like whenever that's ready to go legally out here and it's really more available, like I would love to import one. Honestly, I could care less about the GTRs and all that stuff. I'd love to have an S15, just because it's so sleek, it's so beautiful. I don't know why we never got one over here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Japan and anything other than the United States gets the cool shit.
Honestly, just aesthetic wise alone, I would put it on an S tier, just for me. There's a couple of duplicates. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed. I noticed. There's a couple of duplicates. What the hell? I guess anything that's duplicate, we'll just put them the same thing together. We'll put them both on. So 350Z, just on something different.
Hell no.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this. 350Zs, they're now becoming the go-to car for a takeover, for a slideshow, get back or get smacked type shit. So these cars are definitely low-key getting a bad rep in the scene, but as of modifications, you know, performance, I would say I would give it a solid B tier. Why is that? The parts are not that bad, but they're not also the cheapest. They're kind of fair range. Most 350Z parts, whether it's DE, HRD, rev up, or whatever, they tend to be in the $1,000 range for most of the 350Z parts. I would say it's very good performing because some range from 250 to 300 horsepower. That's enough to drift it around, have a nice little cruiser. There's tons of body kits for it, but it's just not as affordable as I would say like a Miata EK hatch or EG hatch, or even an FRS. Sometimes I think the FRS parts are cheaper than an actual 350Z, so that's why I put it at the B. But other than the performance wise, they're great.
I've seen so many of these cars in wrecks through takeovers and all that stuff. all that shenanigans, and it's just not a good look.
Right.
And you know, kind of like a G35 almost now.
Banga,
So
Banga knows this because he's been in the takeover scene. Dun, dun,
hell
dun.
yeah, that is a lie. No, but for real though, I think I'd love to own one of these cars as well one day. I know the prices aren't too bad,
Mhm,
but it does give you a fairly decent amount of power
mhm.
for a stock motor, depending if you get the HR or whatever.
Right,
But
right, right.
and it's easy to drift, which is probably why people slide them so much.
Right, right.
Tofu,
Tofu,
yeah,
okay.
AE86. You know,
AE86, a classic.
like, do people really like this car, or is it just because it was an initial D that people really like this
Yeah,
car?
no, that's what I was thinking.
It does have pop-up headlights, so that's automatically an A,
Hmm.
at least.
Right, right, right,
But it is one of the more influential cars in terms of like the car scene.
right, right.
It was in that initial D, and it's super popular. Everybody rocks the Tofu livery, so I'll probably just give it an A.
Okay. There's a S2000. Okay,
Another
awesome.
Honda.
These cars drive good. Nothing about them is wrong except for one thing. Either if you own a S2000, you're either really rich or you're really broke and you got lucky. No, there's only one way about it because the thing about this, the parts on these things are so expensive. Like before you could get them for a couple hundred and a couple grand, but now they're over like thousands of dollars for like Jay's racing parts or carbon fenders, carbon hood. If you want like nice bucket seats that were actually legit, like name branding, authentic, like pretty authentic, and all this stuff
Yeah.
like hard tops. The hard tops alone on these cars are like literally 2, 3, even 4 grand. So it has good performance. It's rear wheel drive. It's the first, probably one of the first few Hondas that are actually rear wheel drive. It looks good. It sounds great. The only problem is it's just the price. That's where it kind of gets me.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's why we put it at B.
it's literally just an expensive Miata.
Yeah, basically.
Supra 2JZ. I mean, there's different trims. One with a turbo, one with a not.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
we're talking about the one with the turbo.
Right, right,
The legendary 2JZ. It is definitely one of the best sounding cars and best looking cars, and also most influential as well.
right, right, right.
This Fast and Furious definitely has skyrocketed these cars. But yeah, I definitely love seeing a normal Mark IV Supra instead of the Bupra from these days.
Right, right, right,
But yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like it's at least an A. I don't know if it's S
right.
for me, but
Right. I think these are K cars, right? These are K
they are K
cars.
cars. They are
Okay.
K cars, and I think this one has a turbo, little
Oh.
tiny turbo.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even know they come
yeah,
with. I thought they were just NA, like 3-cylinder.
yeah. It has a little
Okay.
turbo.
I would say I've seen these. I haven't seen much potential with these. I haven't seen a really built cappuccino, but I would say B tier. I feel like it does have the potential, and the cost is probably not too bad, but at the same time it is from Japan, so anything that you need to modify this you would have to most likely order from Japan, and that's the sucky part. So I would put it at B tier.
S13, one of the most rusted out cars that you'll see on the Facebook Marketplace. You'll only find shells and not running bodies unless you want to spend like 20 bands. I think a lot of people start on this car to drift, and you don't really got to spend too much. I think the SR20 is not too hard to work on, but it's just finding one
Hmm.
difficult thing,
Right.
especially out here in the East Coast. It's like basically impossible. Well, I put it at B for
B.
me.
Okay.
I don't think it's an A just because they're kind of pricey for a rolling shell.
These two are Sylvia's. This one's like a Zenki, I think. Like that's what they
Yeah.
call it, or Kuki, whatever it is. Different conversion, same thing. It's still 240 at the end of the day. These are still 240s at the end of the day. Same chassis. I would say probably, honestly, just put these at D. Because don't get me wrong, these cars look good, but the thing is, like, it's just like I said, the reliability, the cost to get parts for these, it's hard now. It's everything's discontinued. Everyone hypes these cars like nothing else, but the thing is, it's like, what's the hype about? It's the IS300. I'd say B. Say B. It has the performance. It has the rear wheel drive. Has that classic 2J, of course, that everyone loves, everyone likes the sound of.
Yeah.
I put it at B because I don't know, it just, even though the looks are great, the performance is great, it's just, like I said, hard to come by with these cars. And even if you do find one, someone's charging an arm and a leg for these cars, and also because it has a 2J in it, you know where the price is going to be for just a 2J alone. For
You're spending it for the
Yep.
motor.
So exactly.
I also, it's just hard to find a manual one of these. Like they're all automatic. most
Mainly
of the
automatic,
time.
yep. So if you
So
find a manual one, it's a unicorn basically.
I don't really
Mhm,
like the GTRs. If I would get one, I get the GTT or
mhm.
GTST,
Right.
just because I prefer rear wheel drive.
Okay.
And then the RB, man, RB power, you know.
RB power.
But yeah, I'd love to grab one of those one of the days. I think I'm gonna put that at A tier for me.
Okay.
All right, let's do speed run.
Speed run, speed run. Okay.
All right,
I don't know if this is STI or not. I'm not
I
a
think that's
Subaru
I think that's an
expert.
STI.
Oh, is it STI? These cars are either, like I said, either super clean or they're either super clean, they're super clapped. It's a Subaru, it's all-wheel drive, so you know, you got to spend more money on an all-wheel drive stuff. Plus this is older, so their transmissions probably break like glass. I don't know if you guys know.
Blown head gaskets.
Blown head gaskets, and trust me, those memes are very true. Not with the newer WXs or STIs as much, but definitely for the older generations, for sure. You will have
Donut Media proved that, right?
Donut Media actually proved it right. So you will, if you have one of these, you will literally rip your hair out. You'll probably have no hair by the end of it. So actually, we'll put this at a C.
Put it at C. Put it at C.
Mhm.
Yeah. Third gen MR2, the blue one. I think it's second.
Right here.
Third gen, whatever. Yeah. I think that's a B tier,
Mhm.
just because it's pop-up headlights and
Okay.
cool.
Okay. NSX, super sexy, super cool, super unaffordable because now they are over either 6 figures or high 5 figures. But other than that, sounds great. They don't make really much of these, which is hence why it's expensive. So I would put it at a B.
Integra. I'm gonna give that an A.
Okay.
Kind of like one of the growing Hondas I've been really liking.
Okay.
Mainly
Okay.
because OMG Miata's been building one. It looks super clean.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Honda. Looks great.
Honda?
Sounds good.
VTEC.
Coupe. B-Tech.
Can't go wrong.
Awesome, man.
Okay. Sorry for all the Evo
Yeah, I'm not a big
super
Evo
fan. I like Evos, but I don't like Evos like that. But let's just put them all in the same group. I know these are different generations, but I know they're Evos at the end of the day. Looks good, all-wheel drive, but their interior is Donkey Kong. They literally look like shit. Like literally, they're so bad, even on the older ones, even on the Evo 10. And they just, everything about them, they cheaped on other than the motor, I feel like.
Yeah,
And the motor is
highlight.
definitely the highlight, but everything else, the looks wise, I still like the looks, but the problem is it's just everything is, if you've been in one of these Evos or even an Evo in general, you'll see how cheap it is, how you feel like it's not even comfortable in there. But yeah, I would give these a solid C.
Oh, NB?
NB.
A.
Okay, A.
It's definitely one of the cooler engines. And it has the VVT,
Okay.
which is really nice. A lot of people take the NB
Mhm.
engine or the put it on the NA
Mhm.
because they want the VVT. But
Okay, so it sounds like they put like basically VTEC, like a VTEC head.
basically, they would take the NB for the Honda, not the VTEC.
Okay, Mazda VTEC,
The
VVTi.
Honda VTEC. one.
Okay. That's what. Okay, okay, that makes
yeah.
sense. Celica, as you guys know, this is the Celica that kind of almost transformed into the Supra, how it came nowadays. So, definitely iconic. A lot of people sleep on this car. A lot of people don't really like the looks of it, but I think it's really good, especially if you see these things from the back. They actually look really good. They have a lot of potential. They're pretty lightweight. Availability of parts probably C, but other than that, I still would love to own one. Okay, on the last one, Banga. End it off here.
FC RX-7. Actually,
Okay.
one of my favorite. This is definitely my favorite RX-7.
Okay.
They're just clean, classic. I mean, dude,
Mhm.
headlights as well with the rotary.
Right.
Yes, besides all the issues you can have with a rotary, it's very
Mhm.
sexy. I'll put it an A
Okay.
for me.
Hey.
Just because it has a pop-up headlight, so it's better than FD.
Let me know what you guys think of this whole tier list, and big shout out to Banga for giving his time. If you guys want to check out his channel and more of the Miata, BRZ, or any more car content, I will leave that in the description down below. Make sure to check it out, or maybe somewhere on the screen around here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and this is me and Banga signing out.
Peace.